Hi guys, Ruda here. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I review African literature. For my video today, I'm going to review probably my fourth children's book, and that is Tefo and the Lucky Football Boots, and that is by Lori Kubitile and Moni Perez, and I hope you guys are going to like it. It's very small, but I thought I haven't done children's books in a while because I'm trying to do more children's books in YA because I think I've been lacking more in that department. I've only been doing more of adult books, so I'm just going to try and also accommodate the younger generation, like kids, toddlers, and also teenagers. So I hope you're going to enjoy what I'm going to say about this book. As you can see, it's not very big because Lori, she actually has more books. I'm not sure if this one is part of a series. I'm not sure. I don't think this one is part of a series, but I'll let you guys know what I thought of it and the kind of lessons I also learned as an adult. So as usual, I'm going to give you guys a brief or the author's bio because I think it's always important to know, the writer, what they do, and just to know. So Lori Kubitile is a full-time award-winning writer based in Botswana. She has been shortlisted for numerous awards. Twice she has won Africa's premier prize for children's writing, the Golden Baobab, like the tree. Yes, that. And more awards. She writes for adults, teens, and for children's. So I came across this book when I was looking for children's books, and there are actually quite a lot of African literature children's books, and I'm super excited to get my hands on them as soon as I'm off my book ban, which I think I'm doing pretty good, by the way. So just to give you guys a bit of the synopsis of the book, it reads: Tefo and the Lucky Football Boots. Tefo wants to play in the football team, but he's worried he's not good enough. He goes to Grandpa for help. So after I read this book, obviously it's very important for you to know what you're talking about, especially as a book reviewer. What happens with Tefo, he goes to school and he wants to join a football club, but he's not very confident because there's also his friends Pello and I'm forgetting the other one, were pretty good. So Tefo is not very confident in himself because his other friends, they're super good at football. So he ends up going to his grandfather's house. His grandfather used to be like a footballer back in the day, so he kind of like goes there for inspiration to hear like what grandpa has to say, and his grandfather ends up giving him his lucky football boots. And when he was wearing them, Tefo, he played amazingly, and the way that he would play, he was scoring and he was getting the team to the top, and he was super confident when he had the lucky boots. And then after 2 weeks they had to play like the major leagues, and his mom apparently had thrown away his lucky boots because they were so old, and she ended up buying him new shoes. But because he believed that those lucky shoes were going to help him, he kind of lost confidence in when he ended up playing the league. But whilst they were actually playing the match and he saw that his team was losing, he ended up kind of realizing that he just had to play for his team to win. So at the end of the book / the end of the match, he goes to his grandfather and his grandfather says, you did an amazing job, you did very well. And then Tefo says, but I wasn't wearing the lucky boots. And his grandfather ends up saying, it was not because of the boots, but it's because you're good enough. So what I learned from this book is, even when you think you're not good enough, you are good enough, because I think it was a matter of comparison, which is something which also happens when it comes to us adults. So I think it's very important for children to learn about confidence at a very, very young age. And I'm so happy that African writers are also accommodating children when it comes to these things. And also representation, I always talk about this. It's very good to see black children, brown skinned, being represented in books, because it also gives them the confidence to see themselves and for them to also want to be writers. And the major lesson I learned from this is you need to be confident in yourself, regardless / irregardless of what exactly is happening in your life. So I think this is also a lesson we can also adapt as as grown-ups. So I hope you guys kind of get a feel of this. There isn't much to talk about really. It's more like it's a 23-page book, and it has like super large print, and it's also graphic, which I think is very good. So this can actually be like a bedtime story for your kids, or just reading for leisure. And at the back it also has like teaching notes. So at the back you have teaching notes, and it's on using the book, developing reading comprehension. So I think that's also very important if you're trying to get your kids into reading. There's grammar and sentence structures, there's word meaning and spellings, curriculum links. So that's very, very important. There's also strategy check, independent reading. So it's quite good. I think it's very important. So if you have kids and nieces or nephews who you want to get into reading, I think this will actually be an amazing start. And I'll definitely be sure to try and buy more children's books. Obviously I'll have to build my own library, because my friends and my sister do not want to give me nieces and nephews. So I'll have to buy them for myself and then stock up the library for them when they come, and maybe my own kids when the time comes. But yeah, that's what I have to say about this book. So if your kid really is trying to get into reading, I think it's a very, very great idea. I think when they're starting to learn how to read, because it has very simple language, it's very straightforward. Even like the letters, they're not very the print, it's not very hard to see or to understand. So I think for beginners, it'll be like super awesome. I'm not sure at what age kids start reading, to be honest, so I'm not going to say a specific age. But yeah, I hope you guys will get your hands on this, and maybe maybe for yourself, maybe if you want to start reading as an adult, you can start with this. There's no shame at all. So yeah, thank you so much, you guys, for taking your time to watch this mini video, and I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.